Hi, I'm Violet Voss, and you're watching Orgasm Central TV. So it's kind of a two-part story. When I was 18, I moved to New York City, and I had heard some friends talking about sugaring, and I thought, what the hell, I'll try it. Just as a way to have fun and make some extra cash. So I did sugaring for a while, and that was kind of my first experience in the industry. I didn't quite grasp that was a part of the adult industry at that time. Now I do. Um, but I did that for a while, moved back to Texas, and then started modeling just kind of for fun on the weekends. I had modeled previously in my teen years, but this time was more adult-like modeling, glamour, boudoir, all that fun stuff. Took a break from that actually, and then focused on my corporate career. And then that kind of ended for me, and I decided that I really wanted to try to pursue modeling full time. And so pretty much after I made that decision, I just kind of got thrown right into the whole modeling world and quickly into the fetish and adult capacity. That's tough. I really enjoy most of it, but I would say probably my favorite parts of what I do is the creative aspect. I love creating content and coming up with all of those ideas, as well as creating these BDSM sessions for my in-person clients and my virtual ones as well. But there's more thought and work that goes into the in-person ones. And I also really enjoy interacting with fans and clients and networking with other industry creators. I would say my least, though, favorite part is the administrative work. Doing monthly accounting and everything behind the scenes to make sure that my business is running properly. I was thinking about that recently, but while I've had some really good scenes, I think I actually had a shoot yesterday. It was my first girl-girl femdom scene, and she was my slave. And it was super hot and so fun, just high energy, and we created some really cool stuff that's gonna launch on my clip sites either later this month or early next month. But we did some girl-girl pegging scenes, some human ashtray, and some boot and foot worship, and it's just so hot, and she was amazing to work with. One, it's super unfortunate because being a sex worker and in the adult industry is still so taboo and just not accepted in the normal world. So I hate hearing that, and it's also affected me in my business. I've had, you know, loans denied, accounts closed because of it. However, I think that there is a way to work within the system to, help us safeguard and protect our accounts. Like if I were to give any advice to any other creator, I think my biggest thing would to make sure that, I guess it's two parts. I'll say it's two parts of advice. So if you're getting anything through Cash App or Venmo or, those pay sites, one, you want to make sure clients or fans aren't putting notes in there, as soon as you say, licking goddess feet or whatever, they're gonna, Cash App and PayPal and stuff are gonna catch on to that, and that's how you're gonna get your account closed a lot of times. But as soon as that money hits your account, take it out immediately. You don't want it lingering in those accounts. And then my second part to that would be make sure your money is not all in one institution. You really want to educate yourself, but make sure that you've got at least one, two different bank accounts, two different institutions. That way, if one account does get closed, it's not every single thing that you have that's getting taken away. It's only a part of it. So while all of that is unfortunate, I think, sex workers just have to realize we have to kind of work, around in that capacity to get what we need to get done and safeguard our accounts and our business in the meantime. It's hard to say to expect just the general public to want to help sex workers because so many of them don't agree with this kind of work. So I think that, you know, we should not, as sex workers, have an expectation that they do want to help us. Although there are some that do. And so I think the best way to find those people is networking within the industry. Like I um, have a financial advisor and kind of account manager for some of my bank accounts and an attorney, and they're all sex worker friendly and help me run my business efficiently and within the law and to make sure, everything is running smoothly. But I think the biggest takeaway is to educate yourself on these matters and make sure you're doing everything you can to protect your accounts and your brand and business. The one thing I hear time and time again is that I am extremely professional and punctual. And so I always lead with that if someone asks me what makes me stand out, because it's what everyone tells me. So yeah. I'd love to see myself on the beach sipping a skinny margarita with a sleeve rubbing tanning oil on my back. But in a professional regard, I'd love to see myself continue to grow and educate myself within the industry as far as being a dominatrix. I feel like you can always learn to educate yourself more on your line of work and just really honing down on my skills and my niche within the fetish world and the female domination fetish. I would say I'd probably end up dialing back a little bit on my modeling just because I see my business growing exponentially on clip creating and dominatrix work. But that's kind of what I have in mind. And also a goal would be to get nominated within the next, 5 years. That would be really cool.